If I'm being honest, I don't understand a lot of the frustrations that a lot of people are having with HAZBIN Hotel right now, simply because a lot of the shit makes sense. First example, that except for Charlie, pretty much everybody has dealt with Pench's death. That's not to say they weren't sad or didn't affect them on the same level as it affected Charlie. But Charlie is the ultimate Nepo baby. Up until Pench's, she hasn't truly lost anyone, nor has she seen anyone close to her actually brutally murdered. She lives in hell. She's used to seeing murder. Somebody's brains were in her eye in the first episode. But even like with her mom just disappeared. She's not dead. Vaggie is a soldier. She's used to seeing soldiers die, which is exactly what happened to Pench's. So yeah, she knows how to deal with it. Alistair's an overlord. He constantly kills people. He doesn't even really give a fuck that Pench's died in the first place. Angel was sad for Pench's as well, but like, again, they live in hell. And he's been dealing with death his entire time there. I have a sneaking suspicion that Pench's is not the first close person to him that he's seen die, and will probably not be the last, I'll be real. Cherry Bomb goes around blowing shit up. And she's still bothered by Pench's death, but she's able to at least operate. Husk is a former overlord. Used to death. Nifty is nifty. Second example, people are calling Alistair a fraud. Honestly, he's not. He's kind of exactly where I expected him to be. He was made the strongest sinner in hell. That's what his deal was for. And he still is unbelievably powerful. But there's still people who can rock his shit. It makes sense. Calling Lucifer a fraud because he can't punish sinners himself. And it makes sense. It makes sense of why hell is the way it is. Think about it. He hates pretty much everyone down there. Imagine being the most powerful, influential person in the entire world. You see everything that's wrong with it, and you have the power to fix it, but you're not allowed to. You know what that sounds like? Hell! Hell punishes everyone that's in it. That's why it's hell. And I know everybody's looking at it like, yo, why doesn't he get the sins on it? The Goetia. Bro, he doesn't have to be the one to do it. Have y'all not been paying attention to how this man operates? For the past several years, his very reasons for living did not want to fuck with him for real. His wife is gone, and his relationship with his daughter is still in its healing process. He is still very depressed. Charlie literally asked, how do you deal with everything? Ducks. And even that's starting not to work. When you are depressed, you can't properly think of solutions. All that's on your mind is how shitty your situation is and how much it sucks. Oh, and my last example, this is for heaven. Y'all are expecting a lot out of a bunch of people who quite literally have never experienced bad things. When I say a bunch of people who have never really experienced bad things, I'm talking about the upper ranks of heaven. Seraphim and that. They're the ones who came down. That's why they didn't know how to properly handle the threat of hell. You guys are upset that heaven seems so innocent, but that's why it's heaven, my nigga. It's innocent. Everybody that comes into our domain is good and virtuous. They've never really had to deal with shitty people. There are outliers, yes, but those outliers are very far and few between. First season, there's a song about it. Welcome to Heaven is literally about how everyone is cool and how you'll love being here because everyone and everything is cool. They know that hell is full of like assholes, but you never know how bad an asshole is unless you actually interact with them. You don't know how deranged someone is unless you actually interact with them. They've never had to. They've always been on top. They're learning the lesson now. Sucks, but it's true. It makes sense.